this is Alpha Ali. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing okay. So today I'm doing a new VOD view. This is actually for Cozy, and Cozy is currently in Diamond 1, which is insane, okay? They put this is game of pre-show, and they think it was a win. I think I should focus on my res as well as my Valk. So awesome. So it looks like we're going to be looking at when and how we can be doing the reses, as well as, how we're going to be using our Valks as well today, basically. So we're going to be looking to go and see that, basically. But yes, we have got Cozy here using the brand new cosmic skin. It's been out for about a week now, so, but still very, very cute skin. Absolutely love it. And I love the little fox charm with it as well. I'm always like trying to look to see what kind of charms go well with this. Currently I'm using the you know, the Mitzi charm, the little cat that Brig has. I'm currently using that charm, but if anyone's got any recommendations, let me know down in the comments. I would love to know, basically. But yeah, we have also got a few people I recognize here. We've got Miro and Harley as well, from the little EU console community. Both very, very sweet. So it's nice to see them over here as well that we're going to be playing against. Cozy also did say that they were queued with a tank. I love queuing with a tank as a support because you can really, like, you know, the tank can, you know, provide some great peel for you as Mercy. Specifically D.Va, because D.Va could DM so much of, like, your reses and stuff like that as well. And also they kind of pair quite well, really nicely, in my opinion, anyways. So yeah, so it's lovely to see them as well. But yeah, so anyway, so we'll just kind of get straight into the VOD. Looking quickly at the team, we have ourselves a Torb, a Soldier. So obviously a Soldier's going to be our main blue beam target. We can damage boost Torb, but mainly just for kind of spamming out areas. Bap is beautiful to damage boost as well as a support, so don't kind of rule him out. If your Soldier's reloaded and your Bap wants to, you know, jump up and be a little bit aggressive, don't be afraid to put the beam onto him. And D.Va as well, great to damage boost when she's diving someone, but you do have that Bap, so it's whenever the Bap is like quite far away from the D.Va, or there's quite a bit of like vertical, you know, height and everything, don't be afraid to kind of just, you know, just chuck on the beam onto your D.Va and everything. Are you wanting your own free Mercy VOD review? I do them live on my Twitch for free at 2 PM UK on Sundays. They cost 7,500 channel points, which you simply get by just watching the streams. If you can't make it that time, then do not worry, as I also record them offline whenever I'm free, and all of them get uploaded to this channel. But if you guys want to see any of my own gameplay as well, you can visit my main channel. If you do need any help with anything, then don't be afraid to message any of my lovely mods on Discord. The links for everything that I've just mentioned will be down in the description. Now, back to the VOD. Enemy team comp, obviously you won't know this for now, but we do have double hit scan, so just making sure that we're playing against these kind of pieces of covers as much as possible. Second point is beautiful for Mercy movements, especially against double hit scan, so we can use that to our advantage. Ryan isn't really going to be much of a bother, just as long as we're, you know, there's a lot of high grounds on this map, so just making sure we're staying above him and make sure we're staying out of swing range. And then Life Move and Mercy, they ain't going to bother us, let's be honest. Okay, but awesome, so we'll quickly get into it. My one key thing is I don't like, yes, awesome. I don't ever like being positioned on that side. I prefer being in here with like the rest of your team, because if you can always like back off to this like little piece of high ground here, over here, compared to on this side. Let's say we didn't know what tank they had right now, and they had like a Winston, the Winston could very easily just jump in, start like, you know, tickling you, and then it'll keep tickling you until you make this kind of sling over to here, and it makes you very, very at risk to essentially being picked off. Compared to if we're playing over here, it means then that we can back off. So just when you ever start off a team, play over here. If you realize I got a Junkrat, then we can rotate off to this side and play over here ever so slightly more. But it's all just dependable on what the team has, basically. Okay, let's keep on going though. So we're kind of like just sat with our Soldier for now. Nice. Because you now know they have a Ryan, you're more than happy to go and sling over to that side. Nice as well how you're leaving all this healing for like your Bat, by the way, as well. I respect it. Unfortunately, you get hit by the dynamite. Just about keeping safe for a sec. Nice rotation back, obviously, to go and get a little bit of healing from your Bat. And we end up going back over. Make that, instead of making that a sling, by the way, make that a GA cancel on the just in case Ashe comes up and starts rotating. We have an escape route like to our Torb or something. But apart from that, really, really nice. Keep going. Nice. Make that a full rotation, by the way, just so you're not kind of hanging out. Unfortunately, with your D.Va, I like how you don't drop down for her as well. Nice. No, you did the absolute right thing there of not dropping down. A lot of people might be thinking, oh, well, why don't we go forward to go and help the D.Va, okay? At that point, especially with all them people, obviously the Batman can save her, but at the same time as well, it's going to be very, very hard for us to do anything as Mercy. And also, if we try to jump forward, can you see how we end up in LOS of the Ashe, which is over... The Ashe was over in this vicinity, basically. I don't know whereabouts she was. Probably over where this, like, health pack is somewhere around here, basically. Oh, is that her body? There she is! We found her. But yeah, she's gonna be playing around here basically. Okay, so if you can, obviously you don't want to drop as much as you can. Obviously the back dropping the lamp and then trying to heal her up is perfect. And then when you saw her getting safe and backing off, love how you just went straight back to damage boosting your soldier. Very, very good positioning and also beam management from yourself there. Okay, we'll keep on going though. So your soldier sadly didn't make it. Nice. Make that a little bit more directional to make sure it's on this high ground. Okay, but apart from that, really, really nice. Okay, with this one, don't sling yourself up in the air. I know that you want to be away from the Rhine, okay? But make it more of just a sling, like, all the way over to these stairs when you're doing this rotation. The reason is because your Rhine is going to start focusing down your D.Va, because obviously, you know, he wants to get rid of the tank, and it's very, very easy. Which, bear in mind as well, we could maybe put our beam on to try and, like, help her out here. But obviously, you know, rotating up here to keep yourself safe, because us doing this little mini super jump up here, can you see how we're making LOS for our Cass and possibly Ashe? Obviously, Ashe is respawned at this point. But it's making sure that we're not super jumping up just to kind of give them, you know, this, hi, look at me kind of thing. Instead, if you can, try to sling yourself onto the bridge, or try if you can, what's it called? To sling yourself over to here. Okay? Keep on going, though. I want to see what we end up doing here. Ooh, risky res. Okay. If you want to do this res, you have to communicate this. And what I mean by this is making sure that you try to do it and make it so the Rhine is going to have the hardest possible opportunity to be able to get you, okay? The way that we can get this res off safely, and it will be risky, would be to get yourself down here. Don't sling it, just do a normal GA. Do a normal GA and do it behind the car. Because can you see where D.Va is? You could very easily start the res off while you have LOS and then do it behind the car. The reason why I want to do it behind the car is then so Rhine cannot just go doom doom like it has with you right now. You resing behind the car means that he can't go doom doom because he has to walk forward. In that time, as long as you ping it and communicate it with your BAP, then it means that he can keep you up during the res, because 1 or 2 of his bullets will be great. The reason why we also GA cancel or just do a normal GA to this res is if we sling it, then we're stuck here for another half a second, which is enough time for Ryan to get another wachum onto us and we die, okay? However, if we just do a, if we just do a little, like, GA cancel and res, our GA is back online. Oh, look, Bab's over here. Whee! And we can just fly back and be safe, okay? So it's just all about making sure that when we do this res, because it's a good res, okay? But we look to do it, okay? A lot of people as well might be saying, oh, you could do super jump res. With the way that D.Va's positioned and also with the barrier up here, it's a little bit too risky. So being kind of behind this car would be a lot better in this case. Okay, we'll keep on going though. So unfortunately, we do end up kind of falling, okay? Respect the res though. So I've got quite a few picks as well, which is really, really handy. And you guys should be able to basically, you know, keep that pretty nicely. Sorry, I'm having a bit of my water while we're respawning. I feel like it's, I feel like it's always really, really handy whenever people die in the VODs, because it gives me a chance to be able to, be able to have my drink. Good damage boost onto the D.Va as she dove in there, by the way. Absolutely love that from you. My only thing with this, and it's not going to help prevent the soldier death, but just for general context in the future, if someone's in safety and someone isn't in safety, make sure you're prioritizing the person that's in the risky area, okay? Because you spent quite a bit of your time healing your Torb up here, okay? Compared to healing your soldier. Now, this is absolutely not going to out-damage a damage-resistant headshot from an Ashe, right? But it's good practice, especially for if, like, a Tracer is, like, trying to, like, spam them out from that high ground, or a Genji's coming in with, like, his, like, little shurikens, that's the name of them. So it's good practice to make sure that you're healing and you're trying to help out the person that is out in the open compared to the person that's currently in the safety, okay? So just try and make sure that you're adjusting your kind of beams for that, basically, okay? We keep on going now, though. Good peel for Torb. You can't help your soldier now because he should have just come straight out, but he didn't. Okay. Why are we slinging out here? We don't need to sling out here, okay? I feel like this is a very panicky thing of, like, I don't know what to do now because I've lost my main bleeding target, okay? And this is why I always like to use the term main bleeding target rather than pocket, right? Because pocket makes it seem like you only damage boost out one person. Whereas as Mercy, you should be trying to aim to damage boost every single person if you can, okay? So, what we do here, soldier dies. We can't do anything about that because he was stupid. He didn't back off and he didn't come down and, like, you know, start attacking the point. So that's on him. We can't do anything, okay? Diva's in their backline. She also nearly has bomb. She's pretty okay, okay? Because she's going to be, like, you know, flying about doing her own little thing. And if she does get demexed, she has her, you know, her bomb to be able to get another remake back. Because as you get into these high rank lobbies, bomb doesn't get any picks. It's mainly just for Diva having an extra life when she wants to go in extremely aggressively, okay? So your job right now is to think, okay, who is my next blue beam target? In which case, it's most likely going to be Torb or BAP, dependent on how they're positioned and also who's doing better. If you have quite a DPS-y BAP, go for the BAP. If you have a slightly more healy BAP, go for the Torb. It's completely dependent on, like, how these guys are playing, okay? But you do not need to sling yourself out here, especially because you know that the BAP's over here. Sorry, the Bob's over here. So because you know where the Bob's gone, okay, and you've done your best to try and, like, you know, help prevent that, don't go and then sling yourself all the way out over here. Instead, I want you to drop into this room here. This little room over here is so nice for us to, like, be able to help people on the point as well as stay out of LOS people that are, like, in this chokehold here, basically, okay? So you want to, instead of you kind of sling yourself out over to here, sling yourself into here. It means then you're not going to get caught out by shatter, and then you help the person that's furthest away in the shatter. The reason why we help the person furthest away in the shatter is because Ryan could very easily get the person that's knocked down first, i.e. your Torb. However, you can keep up people that are further back and behind, so we can go and help there. Okay, I thought the Bob could have seen me. Yes, unfortunately, because of, like, where he was positioned, because he didn't go into the room. If he went into the room, fine. Okay, that's all good. Okay, however, because the Bob ends up being positioned kind of, what's it called, over here, he could very easily see you from here. So just to kind of, like, be a little bit safer, come under here and come and help over here. Alright, I think we're going to fall here, because I fear I paused it at a good point, because I fear you're going to get one more Bob shot. Yeah. But it's fine because Tobias used quite a few ults there to cap it. Like, they used basically all of their ults minus the 2 support ults. And we only used... Oh, well, we used Bomb as well. We only used Window and Bomb for that one. If we didn't use Bomb, that would have been a very good team fight for us, ultimate-wise. But that's fine. We're just going to reset, go again. See what we can do. So unless that soldier wants to be a little bit aggressive... Remember to always play one step back, okay? Because you can hear that Ryan on the stairs. Don't go, like, charge up here. Oh, yeah, dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum, okay? Instead, just play back at the bottom of the stairs. Right? Keep it going, though. Fortunately, they're just going to be able to cap it. Is what it is. Torb tries to go for a recontest, which he shouldn't. We just back off and go again, okay? Awesome. So, this point is perfect for playing against Ryan. Because Ryan has 2 options. Ryan either has to play on this lower ground, or it has to be, what's it called, on this, or on this high ground. Because he can either come main like this, or, like, go on, like, any kind of, like, the low ground routes. Or he has to go on the upper ground route, right? So us being on the upper ground is absolutely perfect here, because if he's on the lower ground route, then he can't easily just come in and pin us, and also we can avoid that damage. However, if he also is on the upper ground route, then we have other high grounds to back off to, or we can obviously drop down, just making sure that we're, what's it called, we're up on there. Okay? But we keep on going. But nice. So soldier's rotating up, so we can very much go and meet him there. Nice, we rotate with him. That's fine. Nice. I can hear Ryan behind you, so it's just making sure that you're being aware of that. For example, he's literally stood right here, okay? So I'd be kind of thinking in my head now, thinking, okay, the Ryan's behind me. Whereabouts can I escape to? Well, you can always use your soldier to sling back into, like, one of these windows, or you can use him to sling down it, like, under here, basically. But it's just making sure that we're being careful that we can hear this Ryan behind. And also, bear in mind, your team is as well as pinging him like mad, being like, the Ryan's here. What you can also do, and this is a little bit riskier, so you have to be a little bit careful here, is kind of, go in and pistol him from the back. Because bear in mind, your Torb and obviously, like, the BAP and the Diva are the ones that are kind of, like, breaking down his Ryan shield right now, okay? He doesn't have Shatter as well because he used it last team fight. What we can do is we can start shooting the back of the Ryan to make him turn around and then start, you know, being focused. The only issue with that is to make sure that we're being careful with the, with the soldier, because obviously your soldier's being aggressive right now. So it's all just kind of making sure that he's okay, but just being wary of the Ryan. If you want to escape from the Ryan, we can use him to sling out, or if you want to attack the Ryan, we can do, just making sure that the soldier's okay. Alright, keep it going though. And yes. So because we're not being aware of the Ryan being there, we end up walking into him, which is why we end up kind of what's called being pinned. So we're just making sure that we're being careful and we're being aware of our team's pings of like, hey, the Ryan is here, so we don't end up getting caught out by it. Okay? Keep it going though. Having a bit of my drink as well while everyone's like resetting and everything. Keep on going. So unfortunately your tour events are getting picked off here. I feel we just need kind of like a bit of a soft reset from your team. I say that as your soldier gets 2, which is actually kind of insane. But that's all good. Nice, and we're all back. Nice. Good that you're using the height advantage once again from the Rhine. Okay, we need to rotate back now. Good pick up with your BAP there, by the way. What you can do is while you're healing your BAP up, by the way, don't be afraid to super jump up. What I would do here is if you can, while you're healing up your BAP, use your BAP to super jump up onto this high ground. The reason is because you can still keep your beam onto the BAP, but also you're getting ready and set up and you're being proactive for the next team fight. Because the next thing that you want to do is you want to try and make sure that you're linking up with your soldier, because your soldier's gonna have visor for when the tree ends, basically. Okay? So just being a little bit more mindful of, like, you don't just have to sit here and do, like, one thing for your BAP at once. You can then use your BAP to then get up to the top and then go and help everyone else. Okay? We'll keep it going, though. Nice. We know that our soldier has visor, so it's just making sure that we're already once again, being proactive and ready to kind of help with that. Oh, okay. Making sure that we're being a little bit more careful with our positioning here. I know that you wanted to do the sling up here. Just let it, like, run a little bit further on if you can, to make sure that you're definitely up onto this high ground. Nice that the bomb does end up getting in, though, which is good. Okay? But it's just making sure that we're making sure that we're definitely getting up onto this high ground here. Okay? Oh, good, though. So we have Ryan. Nice. Good rise. Nice rise. Awesome. Right, we just need to reset and go again. I will say we've not used Valk, but there's not really been a reason for you to use Valk, so I'm not too fussed about you, like, not using it, basically. Nice. Perfect. Nice. My only thing, which I'm going to have not so much a go at you at, but you've been very kind of focused on your soldier right now. Okay, let's quickly rewatch this. I want to show you how, like, tunnel visioned you are on your soldier for quite a lot of this, okay? So this is us rotating back up, which is fine. Okay, so this is fine. So obviously you're trying to help him up, okay? There's all this downtime. Obviously, yes, you do end up using this time to go and have a look at your BAP, which is perfect. But then it's straight back to just tunnel vision on our soldier. You are making an attempt to look, but you're not looking at your actual team, okay? If we want to try and look, we need to definitely look to see where our team is, not just, like, you know, half-heartedly, okay? You see, because remember, we can see our soldier's health bar on the screen, and we know that there's going to be nobody close range to attack him. We can hear Ryan down all the way over to here, and the only other people that they've got are long-ranged heroes, because you have the Ashe and what's called? You have the Ashe and the Cass, and also you have the Lifeweaver, and none of them are really going to be able to, you know, going to be pushing up to, you know, attack your soldier, basically. So your soldier could very easily sit here. It's not like a tracer where, you know, the tracer's going to come and attack the soldier, okay? So what you can do is you can literally spend all of your time just not looking at the soldier and just paying attention to the health bar on your screen, because then that means that we can go and help these guys. And if we need to go and help your diva, now we'll see your diva's in a very, very bad spot here. This is kind of on your diva, to be honest, as well, okay? But we can very easily just have a double check to see how the rest of our team is doing, just so we're not fully blind and just focus on our soldier, like, go, soldier, go. You know, we could have a look and see, like, all the rest of our team and be like, go, team, go. You know what I mean? All right, we'll keep on going, though. Have a bit more water as well. So diva sadly dies. You can't really do too much about that due to the position that she was in, basically. Okay, we're Valken. Okay, I want to play the rest of this out, see what happens. Okay. If you want to use this Valk for a res, you have to do it initially, like straight away, okay? And what I mean by this is as soon as your diva falls, let me quickly rewind it back. Go to here. So this would, I would, if you wanted to valk for the res here, you valk for the res now. And you would fly up and then go straight to do a GA to go and res your diva, okay? So if you want to use this valk to res, you have to do it instantaneously, because what you end up doing is you end up kind of holding it, be like, oh, shouldn't I, and then you go to res, and then the orb goes when you get there because you took too much time because you did a sling as well, okay? So just if you can, instead, if you want to go and res this, you do it instantaneously, and you think, I'll go and res, and I'll use my valk to res. This is a perfect, what's it called, this is a perfect time for us to go and res. And I don't mind you valking for a res here, especially because Valkyries are really, you know, bad ult, basically, compared to the other support ults, okay? So I don't mind you using your valk to go for a res here, okay? But if we want to do it, we have to do it instantaneously so we don't end up missing it, okay? Now, with the rest of your valk, there were a few other mistakes with it, because obviously at this point it's like, oh, well, we've wasted it, but it's fine. Nice cover usage here, okay? And I like you as well coming back up to here, okay? But it's this bit here because I feel like you end up panicking, okay? Ryan has gone in, he's gone to go and attack your soldier, which is most likely he's used a pin to get into there, okay? That means this Ryan isn't going to have pin, and the only way he can attack you right now is the fire strike. So give yourself a minute to readjust and, you know, be okay. And then as soon as you feel like you're alright, you can then use your bat to rotate back over to here, basically, or something, okay? But it's just making sure that we're playing out of LOS of the castle, we're not just casually just floating in his LOS, basically, okay? Unfortunately, your bat dies. Nothing you could do about that, unfortunately, and our valk ends. Rotate there. We don't want to super jump here because you see how you super jumped into like all of what's called all of the team here, okay? This is very much going to be a very, very soft reset until someone hopefully gets back, in which case we can recontest it. But for now, you want to try and back off into your spawn. You don't want to be hanging about anywhere over here, basically, if you can, okay? So just, if you can, try to kind of, you know, what's called, go into there if you can. Okay, keep it going though. Because can you see how you end up kind of making a risky rotation there? We do not res here. We do not res. The reason why we do not res is because D.Va does not have bomb. Okay? If D.Va had bomb, I would say yes, res. Because obviously at that point you can, what's it called? You can, you know, allow her to go and do her bomb, and then she can remech, recontest. You guys have got a whole big recontest. You do not want to res. I know Torb has ult, but you do not want to res this because your D.Va is absolutely amazing at stalling. With the amount of, like, you know, boosters that D.Va has and everything like that, she can be really, really great to stall. And with you tethering onto her as Mercy and you slinging all the way off, like, to the high grounds of the sides and everything, it's a really nice way for us to stay alive, okay? So I don't want you to res here because I need you to keep up your tank. Because you want to try and keep up your tank for your Sojourn and your BAP to get back. And then if you have time, then you can go and res, okay? But because you're solo supporting right now, it's very, very hard for you to do the res. Obviously, yes, if your BAP was back with a lamp, then yes, go for the res as well. But we do not want to res here and let our D.Va fall or go out of mech, because it's going to be very, very hard for us to keep recontesting here, okay? So instead, try and find a way that you can sling out to try and help your D.Va, because then now at this point, everyone's just going to back off. I say that as your Torb tries to jump in and what's it called? And the fight's gone at that point. So slay Torb. But yeah, just make sure that we're, what's it called? Nice, good looking for your BAP to get back. That's on your Soj there for staying in the LOS too often. Okay. Don't damage boost D.Va here, damage boost your BAP and help your BAP. The reason why you want to help your BAP is because he's going to be one that's going to be contesting the cast for a second, because your D.Va is currently just, you know, flowing into a Rhine. Your D.Va's not going to get a pick off to the Rhine, but your BAP has a chance to get a pick off onto the, what's it called, onto the cast, okay? So instead, use your time here to heal up your BAP and to help your BAP out, because that'll give a chance for your D.Va to get her boosters back online, and then if your BAP ends up getting a good bit of damage onto it, your D.Va can then go and finish it off with a touch of damage boost from you, okay? Can you see how that scenario ends up us getting a pick off, basically, compared to what we're doing right now, which is trying to heal up a very healthy D.Va and ignoring our Baptiste, okay? Do not be afraid to put your beam on your Baptiste. Baptiste is beautiful for damage boosting, healing, anything like that. He can essentially act as a third DPS if one of your DPS is not pulling their weight properly. Okay? So don't be afraid to do that here. I want to see what we end up doing. So you've got 2 seconds. Obviously, you can't res because Ryan's going to pin it, which is fair enough. Nice. Love how you don't end up going for the res here as well, because obviously, you know, there's no point. Good pick from your Torb. Good. At this point, your D.Va should have backed off a tiny bit, so if she gets demected here, that's on her. But make that a sling. But apart from that, really, really nice. Okay, right, who's your main blue beam now? It's going to be your what's called your Bastion. Nice. So back to our main blue beam, which is obviously our Bastion. He drops. Cannot do anything. You cannot do anything about that. Good res, okay? I like this res. This is a good res. This is a good res, Cozy, because I like that one. Because obviously you're waiting for your D.Va to go in for the remap because she has bomb. And also don't be trying to go forward to her after that though. D.Va's gonna be absolutely fine when she goes to remake, okay? So allow her to remake. She's gonna have like 650 HP. Allow her to do her own thing. And we just need to A, keep ourselves alive, and also B, try to help our Bastion. Because the reason why we're in Bastion here is to obviously apply pressure to your Ryan, sorry, the enemy Ryan, to make sure he's, you know, we can get rid of his shield and, you know, put pressure on him basically. Okay, so don't be afraid here, just to kind of like allow your D.Va just to remake and do her own little thing, and we can focus on keeping your Bastion up. Unfortunately, your Bastion just goes way too aggressively though, so there's nothing too much that you can do about that. Okay, think about position here, and this is where we need to start being a little bit proactive, okay? Because with GA, you could do multiple things when you GA, and I think I talked a little bit about this on second point with the BAP, okay? Don't just think, oh, I need to get my beam onto D.Va and then whee up into the air, okay? Instead, think to yourself, okay, I need to get my beam onto the D.Va for the split second to help her, you know, stay alive and keep her health up. But at the same time, I know the hit scan's going to be on the high ground, but I know the Ryan's going to have shatter or be very, very close to it and is going to be on the low ground main. So this is the point we have to think to yourself, A, how can I get my beam onto my D.Va? And B, how can I keep myself safe? And we can do this by getting our beam onto the D.Va, or like slinging to get the beam onto the D.Va, and then using the rest of your slings to get yourself back behind one of these pillars. Getting back behind one of these pillars means that you're making space, and also you're playing out of LOS of the hit scans, and also you're playing up and out of the wave of Reinhardt shatter, because Reinhardt shatter obviously can't travel up here basically, and if Ryan just wants to kind of come forward and shatter, it means there's an extra room that we can kind of back off to drop to. Also doing a super jump up onto here is not only dropping us back into the exact same position and allows us to possibly get shattered by the Rhine, but also it means that we end up kind of being LOS of our Ashe as well, okay? So it's just making sure that when we go to put our beam onto the D.Va, we're thinking about where we want to go as well, in which case I want to make sure that I'm doing a sling to get myself back over to here as well, okay? Keep it going though. So we do end up kind of walking our way there, which is okay, but we could have definitely done a more direct one. That's a point, by the way. Okay. That's a point there, by the way, that you can do a little GA cancel just to help your D.Va dive in. Ryan's going to back off because obviously he's lost the majority of his shield. And, you know, he'll need to back off to kind of recharge it for a second, okay? So don't be afraid, just kind of dive in with your D.Va for like a slight second. And then once again, come back to where you were going, okay? If you ever see Dynamite, just stay where you are for a second, wait for it to explode and then move. Because obviously we don't want to try and take damage from it. Especially when it's with a Mercy, because that does 175 damage if we end up being caught out by it. Nice. So we know Ryan's gonna have shatter. There it is. We know we can't. Good res. Nice, that's nice. Just make sure your Torb is aware of that you're res in there, because you don't want your Torb to kind of push up and start attacking and then what's it called, and then get shot down by the Ashe. Either ping it or say in VC like, hey, I want to go and res, in which case we can go and res and make sure that everything's okay. Okay, like the res though, very, very nice. Just don't be too hesitant on it, like just go straight away, because you have cover there to be able to do it. Okay, very, very nice. We're slinging over to go and help our Bastion. Nice sling to cover. Jeez, your Torb is an absolute chad. Use your Bastion. You could have used your Bastion there to be able to sling yourself up to go and help the Torb, by the way, but that's fine. He's all healthy now, so it don't really matter too much. Okay, back to your Bastion, because obviously we want to try and get a pick off if we can before the team fight starts. Ryan used Shatter last team fight as well, so I wouldn't be too kind of, what's it called, hesitant about playing with your team now, which is very, very nice. Good push to the damage boost there, by the way. Nice. Beautiful. Obviously, the Bastion isn't being released to zone anyone in this case. And obviously, your team aren't really kind of what's called going in and attacking on the Bastion. So it's fine for you to sit back here and just damage with the Bastion. But apart from that, really, really nice. Nice. And you guys are going to have quite a few ults for this last team fight, which is going to be perfect, okay? Good sling. I am very hesitant about playing this room, but I understand why you've done it, especially with all the Life Weaver petals. Ooh, okay. I'm not a massive fan on the Valk, but it's okay. Okay, let me quickly go back. Now I'm re-looking at it, I'm thinking, okay, it was actually an alright Valk, okay? I was just a little bit hesitant when you first popped it, because obviously 2 people had died, okay? So we pop it. Right. First thing, we have spent the entire first 5 seconds still being hovering in what's called the same LOS, just be like, dum-de-dum-de-dum, okay? If we want to be out of the way, we need to sling ourselves out of the way. For example, over to here, because obviously Ash is covering that angle, and everyone else has gone back to the payload, basically, okay? So you're absolutely fine here to play on this angle, okay? Now, the window obviously could provide perfect zoning for you to go for a res. Just once again, make that res more quicker and snappy, because it feels like you're kind of like dawdling over. If I'll show you exactly what I mean in a sec, because you do it, okay? You end up kind of dawdling over because you cancel your sling early. You know that your diva died like further on, okay? So get straight to that orb first and then do your sling and bring it round the corner. I like what you did with the res. It was really, really nice. Just make it quicker and snappier. So it means that you're that it doesn't give opportunities for the Ash to be able to go pew pew on your head and you're dead, okay? So just make it a little bit snappier. I like the res. The res is good. However, it's what you do after the res, because you feel very lost once you've done that res. Because it kind of feels like, oh, I don't really know what to... I've done my res. What do I do, okay? What do? You sling yourself straight back to your back, because bearing in mind, your Torb has gone in to go and attack the Ash. So you know that the Ash is gone, and obviously Mercy's about to go back to her team, okay? So what we do here is we literally use the rest of our back to get straight back to our BAP. Apply some pressure onto that payload, and then it also gives us a chance to maybe go in and just quickly touch the points, because I'm scared that you guys are going to C9 it in a sec, okay? But we'll keep on going to see what ends up happening. So just making sure that we're going straight back to our BAP a little bit sooner there. And then don't be afraid to use the end of our BAP to sling yourself onto the points. Because yes, you guys do end up C9 in it, okay? We can avoid the slight C9 here by, you know, at the very end of your Valk here. Hold on, I'll show it to you in a sec. At the very end of your Valk here, what we can do is we can use our sling to be able to get onto it, because you have tree available, okay? So you can use tree to your advantage. So you can use this movement here, make this a sling instead, and just get yourself onto the payload, okay? The cat right now is currently too interested in your BAP, okay? So you can very easily just get yourself on here. You can play above range, so the person that can really shoot you is the Life Weaver, and obviously we can stay out of range of the Rhine, but we could also use the Life Weaver tree to cut LOS if we need to as well. It just means at the end of our Valk, we can kind of go and touch it, and then once Valk ends, Torb's going to back out and come back to here, in which case we can fly back. BAP can be the next one to touch, or our Bastion could be the next one to touch, basically, okay? It's just making sure that you're keeping that team fight alive, especially if you have Valk, okay? We'll keep on going, though. Because unfortunately, we do end up kind of C9 in it here. But you should know at this point that obviously nobody has, you know, the movement abilities like you do to be able to go and touch this point. That's why it's your kind of job to touch it, okay? But apart from that, Cozy, though, it's going really, really well, okay? I like your beam management, and I like who you're playing with and everything. It's just making sure that we're, what's it called? Love the emote, by the way. It's just making sure that when we're going for a res, make it snappier and make it with a purpose. And then in our Valks, just don't be kind of like getting yourself too lost in the Valk, okay? So we got ourselves a Juno now instead. Obviously, it just means that we do need to kind of peel for her a tiny little bit more compared to our BAP, but that's fine. But good damage boost to begin with here. Unfortunate. Good res. Just make sure you're pinging that so your diva can provide you a DM, or just in case people decide to, you know, regress forward. Good. Stay where you are here. I want you to stay on what's it called? I want you to stay on this bus here. The reason is because you sling yourself back here just makes you way out of the team fight for a second, okay? So if you can, try instead to make your GA just over to here, because it gives us opportunities to play with the torb, and it also means that we're going to be closer to our team while still being quite and fairly safe, okay? So just if you can, play it like the back of here, basically. Okay, we'll keep it going though. Good picks. Good help. Okay. Really nice helping your diva with the dive, but be careful with your positioning here, okay? If we want to help the diva with the dive, just J cancel it over to here, okay? Because bear in mind, we don't want to sling ourselves out into the LOS of the cast, for example, that's right here, okay? Instead, what you want to do here is you want to kind of start, obviously, damage boosting the dive, but then just stop yourself here, because then we can still stay with our Sojourn, who has a charged railgun shot, but also we can still maybe try and help a few of our team out as well, okay? Keep it going, though. Can't do anything for your torb there, unfortunately. Good, good, good. Now they backed off. Now we can res. Beautiful. Awesome. And we had a cap in the first point. So overall, really, really great. Just make sure you're not sling yourself into the enemy team. Perfect. We know they're not going to recontest it, so that's absolutely fine. We just reset, go again, okay? Ooh, okay. Don't force yourself to a bad rotation if you don't need to, by the way, okay? You're up here, right? And Sojourn slid into that doorway. You know she's going to slide into there, okay? When she does it, okay? So, do we need to drop down here and rotate this way? No, because can you see how risky it is, okay? Find a safer rotation, as in, drop yourself back down here, and then you can meet up with your Sojourn over to here, okay? Keep it going, though. Nice. Nice. I'd make a rotation here this time. The reason is because, can you see how open we are to that really long sight line here? If our Ashe, if the Ashe just decides just to kind of poke out here again or rotate up to one of these two high grounds over here, she can very easily shoot you down. If we rotate over to here, not only does it make us out of LOS of all them three zones, but also it does mean that we are very, very closer to our diva in case we need to kind of peel for our diva. Yes, we have Juno now, which means obviously it's a little bit easier to hit the divas when they're far away. But remember, as well, Juno has like a slight fall off over like a certain range. So it's just making sure that we can still kind of keep in that range of that diva on the just in case. So if we rotate over to here, not only are we kind of keeping out of LOS, but we're making sure that we're staying with our diva a little bit more. Okay? Keep on going though. Push up here. You don't need to be on the payload here. Nice. We're doing a little bit of a rotation back, which is fine. Nice. Make that GA cancel instead. We rotate up, which is nice. I like to see it. Okay. Don't rotate onto this high ground, though, because this is getting a little bit too aggressive, okay? So I like your use of high grounds, specifically this one. This one was very, very nice, okay? But don't rotate up to this high ground here, because that's where everyone stood. That's where the Rhine stood, the Ashe stood, all them, you know, all them people, basically. So we don't want to be up there, okay? So our next rotation, unfortunately, has to be down low. So we have to rotate down now. The reason why we need to do that is obviously so we're still keeping, you know, beam range of our Sojourn and the rest of our team, but also so we can stay out of LOS of the Ashe, okay? So I like use of high grounds, just be really, really careful of where the enemy team is before we use them high grounds, okay? Because I feel like you do end up kind of realizing and then you kind of do a bit of a weird rotation. Nice, go into the room there. So, don't worry too much about getting your beam onto anyone at this very moment in time. What I want you to do is I want you to prioritize your own safety. So instead of you kind of, what's it called? Instead of you trying to, re-peek or, like, you know, try to keep these people up, go straight into the room, ignore the beams for the second. Allow your self-regen to kick in, and when you can hear Bob shooting someone else, that's when we can re-peek. Because what Bob does, Bob locks onto the first target that he sees, and he'll keep locked onto that target until he no longer has LOS of them. In which case, he'll switch to a different target that's in his LOS, or he'll just completely shut off until someone else peeks his LOS, basically, okay? So as soon as we hear Bob shooting someone else, that's when we can do another rotation to get ourselves into a better, a better position, okay? So don't be kind of forcing yourself to, you know, keep your beam onto your Sojourn. I want you to keep yourself alive first and then go and help your Soj, okay? Because it's more important for you to stay alive than your Sojourn, for example, okay? Keep it going. So we end up kind of playing passively for a sec. Nice. Okay, we do not need to Valk here. We do not need to Valk because it's a 3v2, okay? Because both of the DPS have died and also the, what's it called? The Life Weavers died as well, okay? So we don't need to Valk this, okay? I understand why you think that you possibly might need to, but honestly, you don't need to. Everyone's really, really healthy and we can very easily deal with this with just ourselves. Second reason why I also want you to keep hold of it is because they used a bunch of ults that last team fight. They used High Noon, they used Bob, and they used Valk, okay? And they still lost it. That means coming into next team fight, if we hold our Valk, we have 4 ultimates to contend with compared to the 1, possibly 2, okay? Which means we have a better ult economy. Us wasting this Valk right now, it means if Juno doesn't get back in time and builds up her ults, these guys can very easily stabilize with the Life Weaver tree, get a shatter off because Ryan's had enough swings, bada bing, bada boom, we've got nothing to block it, team fight's wiped. They manage to build up more to their ults, we end up with a stalemate, you know, basically. However, if we keep hold of our Valk here because we don't need to use it, we just need to make sure that our Sojourn's staying up and pretty healthy. D.Va's mech is beautifully fine, so we could very much just leave her to go and do her own thing, and we just rotate ourselves onto the point. Ryan will back off to meet up with the rest of his team to do a recontest with Tree in a second, so we do not need to Valk it here. It's not like it's like, you know, at the very end in like overtime or something, you know. We can save our Valk in this instance. Alright, I'll come back to you though. So nice to be good to go, obviously go and push the cart. Don't be afraid to pistol him. Yes, 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 yes. Beautiful. Good use of the pistol there. Very nice. And we forced Tree early as well, which is beautiful. Okay, same thing again with that high ground. So this was really well played by you, okay? Because you obviously going behind the Ryan to force him, you know, to get weak, forces Tree early, which is beautiful for your team. Because now at this point, apart from Ryan nearly have Shatter, they have nothing. Compared to you guys who have got Torballs, obviously you've just used Bomb to remake. But also you have the Juno ult that's about to come in a second as well. We would have had Valk if we didn't use Valk, okay? Very well played by you. Just remember that Ashe, obviously, you know, Ashes like to come up onto this kind of bridge area to have that, you know, really good LOS. So it's just making sure that we don't, once again, sling ourselves up onto that high ground. We should know that the Ashe wants to use that high ground, so we should just play lower. Remember, you've got this beautiful tree as well that's just popped up. We can use that for some nice LOS, okay? Or I guess cover from LOS is probably what I should say. Alright, Ryan. Slay, I guess. Ryan comes in and charges at you. But it looks like your team are I say your team are probably going now. Let's quickly kind of get back here. Because I think this all kind of stems from this rotation. So we panic. Ah, okay. So if we ever see a Ryan charging at us, allow the Ryan just to charge him, and we can back out. The reason why we can back out is because there's 2 exits to this room here. Okay. So as soon as we see or we hear that Ryan charging, okay, don't start walking out because we're not gonna be able to beat him. He has a massive brain man. Ryan's pin is really broken, kind of say, and I say this as a Mercy player because Mercy obviously has her has our hitbox as like part of like the golder parts of her wings, okay? Which means if they're extended out or they're just there in general and Ryan hits an ever so slight pixel of it, bam, you get pulled into the pin, okay? So instead of you kind of, seeing the Ryan and thinking, oh no, I'm like trying to escape that way, think, okay, Ryan's gonna pin in, I need to back off. If you back off, then all we need to do is essentially just keep walking. Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking, and then you can jab out to someone here, basically, okay? So just kind of keep ourselves alive if we need to. I was fuming after this. No, it's alright. I don't know, it was very, you know, aggressive, him coming in for the pin. But it's game fight change him. He misses the shadow though, so that's always good. And we have to choose Juno as well. So it means that we should be able to win this out. Perfect. Awesome. And now it's just hoping that someone comes and picks you up, i.e. your duo that's just flown into the enemy backline. But that's fine. We're all back. All good. But it's just making sure that we're being wary of, like, you know, if a Ryan pins in, we ain't going to be able to get out of that, basically, are we not? Okay? Awesome. So, let's keep going. So, with our Soj, D.Va gets pinned. Can't really do too much about that, basically. Good. We can hear Ryan pin. So, as soon as we hear Ryan pin, use your sojourn here, because you only do like a GA cancel here to get yourself a little bit forward, which is fine. But as soon as you hear Ryan pin, you know that team's going to start coming aggressively in, like, for example, how your cast is doing right now, okay? Once you know that's happening, you want to do a GA backwards and get yourself back over to here. The reason why you don't want to drop down is because if you drop down, then the cast basically has free reign onto your sojourn for a second, okay? And if he gets basically two dinks onto her, she's gone, okay? So what you want to do here is, instead of you kind of like just dropping down and panicking, be kind of, once again, be a little bit more proactive. Know that that Ryan's going to aggress forward, in which case the enemy team's going to aggress forward, in which case we could do a sling and we can get ourselves back over to here, okay? Keep it going, though. Good, so we managed to get back round to her, which is all good. At this point, we're just working down Ryan's shield. Juno should be able to help D.Va here. Also, it allows her to build up her ults as well a little bit more. Don't ever stand in that room if you can help it. We know Cass is still there. Don't mind that there. Nice. So we go, okay. To be honest, this res isn't really needed because you're just going to lose the team fight at this point. Let's quickly rewind it. So at this point, you're just going to lose this team fight, unfortunately. Let me go back a little bit more. Yeah, because we need to try and stay into this team fight if we want any kind of way to be able to win it out. But to be honest, especially because your D.Va has fallen and the Ryan's got back and they're using Valk, it's going to be very, very hard for you guys to, to win this out. So it's either you have to stay with your team and try if you can to obviously, you know, help out the rest of your team, stall it out, or we have to, you know, essentially just go in and die or back out, basically, because unfortunately, unless if someone gets another pick off here, which your Tor might be able to if you help him out here, you're not going to be able to, you know, do anything here, unfortunately, and you're just going to have to reset and go again, okay? So whenever you're in a team fight like this, just try and commit to this team fight, because if you go and abandon them, especially because your Juno is really, really weak, it means everyone's going to fall, and then you've just res someone for no reason, okay? So if you can, try to play with the team, but if not, is what it is, just go in either down the point with your pistol or back out if you can, okay? So don't try to go for a res here. So at this point, we just need to back out. Use your D.Va to sling yourself out because we just want to try and create the distance as much as possible. And we just have to reset. Nice, we hear Ryan pinning again, so we just want to make sure that we're backing off before that. Same thing again here. Try not to just stand in the way of that LOS. Try if you can to play a corner still. Damage boost your D.Va in here. Damage boost your D.Va in for that dive, especially because the Ryan isn't there to help with any of these guys. So make sure you're damage boosting in with the dive and going in with the dive with our D.Va there. This is all fine, obviously trying to help her. You can res. Perfect. Just make sure you're in the room. Love how you kind of took your time with that one, though, just to make sure that your, that your Juno was okay. Okay? But just make sure that your, make sure that you're fully in the, in this kind of room before you do end up going for the res. Obviously, you're backing out. Good. Be management there. Too early. I respect it and I understand what you want to do with this Valk, but it's way too early. Your Valk is unfortunate. Like, I understand what you want to do with it, because obviously you want to try and, you know, aggress him with your team, okay? But because your D.Va's just used boosters and everyone has just backed off, you want to actually try and save your Valk for the last kind of team fight. So unfortunately you do end up kind of, you know, losing out on quite a bit of your Valk here, but it's all good, okay? Just make sure that we're kind of popping it a little bit later, because you're unfortunately a little bit too, you know, I guess active on the ult. Still possibly winnable. Good res. Just make sure we have an escape route from that res. Good, good, good. Very nice. Okay, just making sure that you know you got an escape route from that res because it was a good res. Okay, and another key thing as well, don't be afraid to sling yourself up onto here. Here is a perfect good use of high ground here because you can get on your beams onto everyone, and if anyone comes from there, you can always drop down. Because the only issue with us playing over here is the fact if cast ends up coming forward, then obviously you can go pew 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 and we're dead. Okay. But other than that, very well played with that last team fight. Okay, Cozy, your main kind of thing, because I'm gonna say to you now as well while we keep on skipping forward. The only real thing that you're struggling with is mainly just kind of making sure with your res, it's mainly with your Valk reses actually. It's just making sure that you're, you know, there and being like as quick as you can with it basically. Okay?
That's exactly.
And obviously we talked a bit about your Valks as well, but we'll talk about it in our summary in just a second. I'll just wait for the thing to start. I love your little dance part you just had as well, that's so cute. Alright, keep it going though. Fortunate with your soldier there. Very risky with the res, okay? Just make sure you're in a good position before you go for that res. So with that res, you have time for you to, what's it called? With that res, you have time for you to go and, like, you know, get yourself all nice and comfortable before you go for the res. It's not like you're under pressure by anyone like you were on your first res that you did onto the D.Va on first point, okay? So with this one, you can very easily just take your time with it, you know, get yourself all nice and comfy, even take the health pack if you need to, and then go for the res. There's no rush with this one, compared to the ones previously, like, for example, in your Valks, where there is a rush to try and get it off, okay? So don't be afraid with that one. Nice. Good, obviously picking up your D.Va. Nice. Let's make that a GA cancel. I think you guys are capping it. Very, very nice. Okay, so, Cozy, first things from you, overall. I like what you're doing on your Mercy. Can I just say, your Mercy is really, really good, sweet. I love your beams. I love who you're trying to beam in as well. I like as well how there's a bit of time as well. You're trying to, like, obviously put your beams onto your D.Va whenever she dives in as well. It's always really, really nice to see, okay? Just apply that a tiny bit more because I am kind of struggling to see it a few times. But other than that, though, it's really, really nice to see. I absolutely love it, okay? Your pistoling as well was really, really great, especially like when the Rhine was on, you know, when the Rhine was trying to defend on like the bridge and everything and you went behind. Very smart plays from you as well, and I love to see you kind of like pulling out when you need to, okay? Very nice to see. Things that we need to work on, Cozy, as you did say, it is your res and your Valks, okay? So with res, okay, I don't mind you using Valk to res, especially when you get towards the higher levels because Valk is so, res is so impactful. So sometimes we just need the extra movement, which Valk provides. And obviously, you know, Valk, especially when we get to higher ranks and everything, it can be quite hard to use, like, effectively for your team, okay? So, first of all, I really like, what's it called? I like that you're using Valk for res, okay? But with your reses, you have to kind of look and see what the priority is, and also with that priority make sure that you're still safe with that priority. So if it's a high priority res, as in like you have to kind of do it instantaneously and it's a little bit riskier, okay, it's just making sure that you're playing, you know, you're getting yourself into a good position for that res, because you know you have to rush it unfortunately, and it's make sure you get to that res quickly as well, because a few times where it's like you end up kind of being a little bit too slow for the res, and then it ends up kind of getting all like wish-washy basically. Okay, so that's for your res, but also with reses that are a little bit less priority as well. With reses that are like basically a little bit less priority, it's making sure that you're kind of giving yourself time to be nice and safe before you do go for the res. So don't be kind of, you know, force yourself to rush into that res, like how you did on your third point where like you healed up the Juno before you went to go and help the rest of your team, okay? So don't be afraid just to do that, okay? So other than that though, Cozy, your second thing is your Valks, okay? With Valk, it's about making sure that you're popping it at the right time. Okay, and also making sure that you're still being like really like nice and comfortable, okay? Because once again, I don't mind you using your Valk for a res, okay? But it's just making sure that you're using it and you're actually getting the res off, okay? Because the rest of the time it's either we're popping it a little bit too early, so just wait for your team to kind of what's called to be in like an actual kind of like proper team fight if you desperately want to use it, or just use it for your own survivability. If you need to try and keep someone up and it's going to be a little bit kind of, you know, wish-washy wherever you can, then use your Valk as well. The main thing you want to use Valk for in higher ranks is for your own survivability or for getting off riskier reses, okay? But apart from that though, Cozy, it was very, very nice to see. Very, very nice, you know, game, and thank you so much as well for sending in. But thank you so much for everyone on YouTube as well as on Twitch who've been watching this. If you guys want to basically any of my own gameplays to start off with, that is on my main YouTube channel, which will be linked down in the description. There is also my Twitch will be linked down there, so if you guys want to watch any of this live as well, you're more than welcome to. And also the Discord, if you guys want to join the Discord as well, everyone's really, really lovely over there, so you're more than welcome to join that as well. If you do want your own VOD as well, instructions were at the beginning of the video, so just go and follow with them, and you can get your own VOD view like this one, basically. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Bye!